Oh, hey there, friends. Today I'm just going to show you some little presets that I've made for this new Polyend mess. It's a new pedal. It's pretty expansive. It's pretty dang cool. It's pretty dang expensive. So I'm not suggesting that any of you run out to get it right away. However, some of you may be curious about it. So I've spent a couple days with it. And I think I've come up with 5 or 6 presets, and maybe if we have enough time without dragging it out too much, I'll dive into a couple of the ones that are programmed in the stock presets that they have in there, and you can see what it can do. Let me just explain really briefly what it is. It's a stereo device. I am using it in mono. Why? Because I'm playing it through an amp. I'm not running it to 2 amps. I'm playing it through an amp. It's super hot up here in London with no air conditioning, so I'm just going to make this as quick as possible. It's in mono. Yes, it sounds tremendous through 2 amps, and it sounds great in stereo through a modeler. But I don't have a modeler handy to run it through in stereo, so running through an amp, and here's my regular clean guitar sound. Nothing special. But I will run through the presets that I've done. They are spectacular in stereo, so if you're into this sort of thing and you like to run in stereo, you will be very pleased. What it is, in a nutshell, is you can run 4 effects at once, as I understand it, or at least that's what I've been doing on the surface, programming it myself. And there's many different categories. You can do saturation, you can do filter, you can do EQ, you can do chorus, you can do flanger, you can do phaser. There's multiple reverbs, there's a lot more even delays, etc., etc. There's granular, there's micro loop. So while it's pretty dang expensive, it incorporates a lot of other devices you may already own. I like it because I wanted to have sort of a granular, warping, sort of like textural reverb at the end of my chain, but with some particle sort of, I mean, you'll hear it. However, it's kind of endless. And maybe the best part of it is with each different effect, and those effects are selected by these different switches, knobs, if you will, buttons, let's call them buttons. You then have the ability to sequence it. As soon as you press the play knob, the play switch, you have up to a 16-step sequencer. And you can pick whatever steps you want within the sequence to be featured so that things will morph and move and bend and squirrel. They get squirrely. It just depends what you want to run. So there you go. I'm pulling up my panning choice. And here you can see it's doing like the 2nd, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, and 15th, I think, or something like that. But you can do whatever you want. All right, enough of the jibba jabba. Let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what I called my basic verb preset. Here's clean again. Nothing, dry. Kind of a nice cloud-like, if you're used to the Strymon effects. Blooming, cloudy, blooming sort of reverb. Big without it being too big, because that's what I wanted. And the pan is moving according to a 16-step sequence. Now you can do 2 steps, you can do no steps, you can do 8 steps, you can do 10 steps, you can do whatever you want. That's what makes it so cool. And if you have 4 different effects and they're all, say, different steps, and the point of which they are highlighted in those steps are different, you get this really kind of moving, evolving sort of sound. It's really cool. To get into preset mode, you hold the center button, and now we're in preset mode. We're going to go to my filter scatter verb. That's just without any sequencing. You can hear that moving. Why? Well, if we go to the different effects, the filter, as long as you have the play switch engaged, you will see what sequence is going on, what choices you've made. You press the next button, and that's the granular shift and what sequence is highlighted there. The same for the pan and the same for the reverb. The reverb's going through all 16 steps in this case. So you turn the play switch off and you stop seeing the sequence. Let's go back to preset mode. This is my favorite of the presets I made, the particle plate. Let's hit the play switch. And you're hearing a lot more movement there because you've got the pan, the filter, which is EQ, and the granular burst all running through different steps. So kind of cool. This is called texture. It's cool, right? And you can save it in play mode or not in play mode. And then just, if you save it not in play mode, you can engage the play mode whenever you want to engage the steps of the sequencer. This is called club glitch. The reason is it's a club-sized reverb with some glitchiness going on. This is one of the stock presets called Hot Detail. You can do a lot with this. This is called Glitchy Scape. And this is Filter Particles. So, as you can see, it's pretty dang cool, and it's kind of endless. Again, each of these switches, these pads, you can choose any effect you want. Spectralizer, microbursts, reverbs, analog delay, lo-fi delay, analog chorus, flanger, phaser, like I said, tape effect, saturation, granular burst, particles, and everything in between. Shapers, panners, saturation. Yeah. It goes on and on. So you have those amount of choices in each one of those slots, each one of those pads every time you press it. And that becomes your 4 effect template if you want to use 4 different effects in your preset. You might want to use 2, you might want to use 3, you might want to use 1. But it gives you a lot of choices. And they all sound fantastic. It's pretty built like a tank. If you hit somebody with this, you'd really do some damage, so don't hit somebody with this. And I'm enjoying it. It's very hi-fi. It's well done. It's well done. But again, it's really expensive. So I'm using it at the end of the chain with my stereo board, which I only use here in the studio when I'm doing lap steel, textural, ambient sort of things. But if you're that type of player, this just might be the ticket, so check it out. It's called the Polyend Mess, made in Poland.